ॐ ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अनादित्वान् निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मायमव्ययः शरीरस्थोऽपि कौन्तेय न करोति न लिप्यते यथा सर्वगतं सौक्ष्म्यात् आकाशं नोपलिप्यते सर्वत्रावस्थितो देहे तथात्मानोपलिप्यते यथा प्रकाशयत्येकः कृत्स्नं लोकमिमं रविः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृत्स्नं प्रकाशयति भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोरेवम् अन्तरं ज्ञानचक्षुषा भूतप्रकृतिमोक्षं च ये विदुर्यान्ति ते परम्। ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगो नाम त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमं यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे परां सिद्धिमितो गताः। ॐ तत्सत्। Just give me a minute. So we are on the last verse of chapter 13. The previous verse we did was यथा प्रकाशयत्येकः कृत्स्नं लोकमिमं रविः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृत्स्नं प्रकाशयति भारत. O Arjuna, just as one sun illumines this entire world, so too the Kshetri, Atma, one who obtains in the Kshetra, illumines the entire Kshetra. So this we saw yesterday and we repeated it. So I'll just go through the last paragraph before we go to the next. There is only one consciousness. The mind is also within time space. There is no mind without a thought, and there is no thought that does not have consciousness as its content. Then all the elements are also from the same Chaitanya Atma alone and are objectified by Chaitanya. Also, there is no second consciousness. There is no pramana for it, and Shastra also makes it very clear that there is only one consciousness, Ekam Chaitanya. If you have any doubt, just close your eyes and see how many consciousnesses are there. Anything you think of is going to be an object of Chaitanya. Therefore, all that is there is one consciousness. Just as the sun illumines the entire world that is seen by you right now, so too the one who indwells the kshetra illumines the entire kshetra, all the subtle and gross elements, everything that is known and unknown. As there is only one self luminous sun, there is only one self effulgent Atma. Then again, it is unaffected by whatever it illumines. If it illumines the Gita, the sun does not become more exalted. And if it illumines Playboy, it does not shrink. Similarly, Atma is not in any way affected by what it happens to illumine. Since it is not subject to objectification, nothing in this creation can affect the Atma. In order for something to be affected, it has to be objectified by something else. And Atma is the one that illumines everything and which nothing else can illumine. Nothing can touch it. This last verse sums up the entire vision that was unfolded by this chapter. क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोरेवम् अन्तरं ज्ञानचक्षुषा भूतप्रकृतिमोक्षं च ये विदुर्यान्ति ते परम्. Ye, those who, evam, in this manner, kshetra kshetrajnayoho, between the kshetra and the kshetrajna, antaram, the distinction, cha, and bhuta prakriti moksham, freedom from prakriti, the cause of all beings, jnana chakshusha, through the eye of wisdom, viduhu, no, te param, ultimate end, yanti, they go. Ye evam kshetra kshetrajnayoh antaram cha bhuta prakriti mokshan jnana chakshusha viduhu te param yanti. Those who in this manner know the distinction between the kshetra and the kshetrajna through the eye of wisdom and know the freedom from prakriti, the cause of the beings, they go to the ultimate end. Those who know the difference between the kshetra and kshetrajna reach the ultimate end. Just 1 second. The difference,
Okay.
are you able to, Sumaji?
Yeah.
Yeah, continue till you are able to share and then you can take over. Okay?
Okay.
The difference between the kshetra and kshetrajna is to be known, evam, in the manner that has been shown in this chapter. Okay, you're able to, right?
Is this
Yes.
visible to everyone?
Yeah, it's visible. Very clear.
So those who know the difference between the Kshetra and Kshetrajna reach the ultimate end. The difference between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna is to be known, evam, in the manner that has been shown in this chapter. This is important to note because everybody knows that Kshetra is the world and oneself is the knower of it, Kshetrajna. This is not enough. When you say, I am Kshetrajna, this I has to travel to Atma, the one who has been shown to be the same in all the Kshetras, who is fullness, Purna, and out of whom everything has come. The one that illumines everything and itself is free from everything. We have to know in which way Kshetra and Kshetrajna are non-different and in which way they are different, as it has been shown in this chapter. So this is the underlying thing, that we have to know in which way Kshetra and Kshetrajna are non-different and in which way they are different. By what do they know? By the eye of knowledge. Jnana chakshusha. Bhagavan says the eye of knowledge, because when you see something with your own eyes, your perception is considered final. Even in a court case, the report of an eyewitness is conclusive evidence. Shankara defines jnana chakshu as the cognition by which you recognize the swarupa of the Atma. How does it take place? He says, it is born of teaching through the grace of the Shastra and the teacher. Through the teacher, the Shastra becomes a pramana, whereby you gain immediate recognition of Atma. The grace of Ishvara is necessary for the teacher and the student to come together. And then the grace of the Shastra, teacher, yourself, and Ishvara are necessary for you to be able to understand the meaning of the Shastra. Grace of the Ishvara is necessary for the teacher and the student to come together. And then the grace of Shastra, teacher, yourself, and Ishvara are necessary for you to be able to understand the meaning of the Shastra. Wow. Grace of Shastra also we need. Grace of teacher, our own grace, ourself, and Ishvara are necessary for you to be able to understand the meaning of the Shastra. That knowledge alone is Jnana Chakshu. The eye is a good analogy here because, like an eye that has a cataract, the mind also is covered by ignorance. The opening of the eye of wisdom is the removal of the cover of ignorance, which corrects the person's vision. This vision must be complete, and that is pointed out here by saying that they gain release from the cause of all the beings and elements. For all the bhutas, the jiva, the cause is maya or prakriti or avidya. They are all synonymous. The cause of an individual is to
Then
continue to
Gurudev,
be,
so
yeah,
yesterday we had this doubt about Prakriti and Maya, right?
yeah,
So they are the same, actually, isn't
mm,
it? So
yes.
Maya, Prakriti, Avidya, they're all synonymous.
Mm. That means even if the entire creation is dissolved and all the karmas of the jivas are unmanifest, there is no release from samsara. That occurs only by jnana. The knowledge of the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna must be such that it releases one from the cause of the beings.
Can you repeat that paragraph one more time, please?
Yeah. Want from here or from here? What
Uh,
is Chakshu? I'll
I'm not
read
sure
from
the
here.
last paragraph you read. Yeah, the last paragraph you read.
Okay. So this is that the Jnana Chakshu should be complete. This vision must be complete. And that is pointed out here by saying that they gain release from the cause of all the beings and the elements. For all the bhutas, the jiva, the cause is maya or prakriti or avidya. They are all synonymous. The cause for an individual to continue to be born again and again is avidya. That means even if the entire creation is dissolved and all the karmas of the jivas are unmanifest, there is no release from samsara. This occurs only by jnana, the knowledge of the difference between kshetra and kshetrajna must be such that it releases one from the cause of the beings. Those who know this go to the ultimate end from which there is no return. Usually, they go somewhere. Usually, when you go somewhere, you come back or keep going. But param means that from which there is no coming back or going elsewhere. And this can only be in the form of knowledge. Knowing that he is the Kshetrajna and that the Kshetra is non-separate from him. There is no question of his coming back. He does not take another birth. Living, he is liberated, which is what we are interested in. But then he does not return, which means from the standpoint of others, he is in the form of Ishvara, while from his own standpoint, there is only Param Brahma. All that he wanted to be, he is. Om Tat Sat. Idi Shri Bhagavad Gita Shu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogo Nama Trayodashodhyayah. Om Tat Sat. This indicates the end of the chapter. Om means Brahman. Tat Sat, that alone is truth. Idi Shri Bhagavad Gita Shu Upanishadsu is in the Bhagavad Gita, which is equivalent to Upanishads, because it is a work revealing the identity of Atma and Brahman, Brahma Vidyaya. In this Brahma Vidya, a Shastra whose subject matter is Brahma Vidya. And it is not only Brahma Vidya which deals with realities, it is a Yoga Shastra. It talks about the Antakarana and karmas, etc., telling what one has to do for purification of the mind. And dharma, all disciplines, values, prayer, etc., come under Yoga Shastra. In this Yoga Shastra, so Yoga Shastra is all dharma, discipline, value, prayer, etc. Brahma Vidya is knowledge of the Brahman. And this was in form of a dialogue that took place between Krishna and Arjuna, Krishna-Arjuna Samvada. In this dialogue, Krishna-Arjuna Samvade is this Trayodasho Dhyayaha, 13th chapter, dealing with the topic yoga of separation of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, or the discrimination between Prakriti and Purusha.
Can you do the last paragraph before that? Yeah, that those who know that. No, that one more time. The last paragraph, please. First.
Who know this? This one?
Those who know this, yeah.
Those
Thank
who
you.
know this go to the ultimate end from which there is no return. Usually, when you go somewhere, you come back or you keep going. But param means that from which there is no coming back or going elsewhere. And this can only be in the form of knowledge, knowing that he is the Kshetrajna and that the Kshetra is non-separate from him. There is no question of his coming back. He does not take another birth. Living, he is liberated, which is what we are interested in. But then he does not return, which means from the standpoint of others, he is in the form of Ishvara, while from his own standpoint, there is only Param Brahma, all that he wanted to be, he is. So this recognition that I am Param Brahma. Go through all this exercise of discriminating between the Kshetra and
So living,
Kshetrajna,
he is liberated.
and then come to the understanding they are not separate as well. Want to have some discussion on this?
Yeah.
Last night I had a doubt that if we are seeking liberation from this bondage, should we first? I got the answer also, but I thought I'll share it. So I had this doubt whether we should pray to Maya to liberate us from the entanglements. Then I realized Maya is dependent on Purushas, on Brahman. So the prayer is anyway addressed to Brahman, to Ishvara.
You know
No,
that
in order to, which is
there's a
true actually.
clarification. Sorry, go ahead.
No, praying to Maya is important also, because the power of Maya is so, because it is nothing but
Yeah.
the power of Ishvara. So in order to relieve ourselves from this, the hold that Maya has, it is important also to pray to Maya, which is the whole, uh, the Shakti Upasana is
Mm.
all on that. The
Mm.
Sri Vidya Upasana is all about praying to Maya, praying to Prakriti,
Yeah, that
and the Devi
actually,
Mahantra. Yeah,
so from the Brahman, the wielding power is given to Maya. That Maya with the three gunas, with is undisturbed, right? And that's um, that Maya with the Purusha is called the Ishvara. So this thing that we talked in Tattva Bodh, like we read that Maya with the three gunas, that is translated in, I mean, transferred to all the Panchabhutas. From there, all this Sariras developed. So in this particular chapter, I think the Tattva Bodh this plays a big role to understand
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the things. And Ishvara is like minus Maya is Brahman. Like, because remember that somewhere we read Ishvara is the one, the creator, um, Sthiti, what is that called? Srishti, Shriti, Laya, other those three function is by Ishvara. And the Maya has this three gunas. When that three gunas get disturbed, that's when uh, this the five elements formed. Then from that five elements also get those three gunas, that sattva, rajas, and tamo guna. And then the sattva gunas forming jnanendriyas and the antakarana. In the Rajoguna forms the Karmendriyas and that Panchaprana. In the Tamoguna is the one forming the Sula Sharira. So that my question was what this Avarna Shakti and this what do you call that, Vikshapa. That is in the avidya, right? This avidya is this Maya. So now we know all that is synonymous. Mayas, avidya, not prakriti, jiva, all that. So all we are seeing this illusion, all of it is um, this. You gave those example all the time, that rope and raja, what do you call this? Sarpa rajas are the in the hot weather, like you see the water, like carnal, I get it in Tamil. What do you call that? Like mirage.
yeah,
Those are like that kind of illusion. This Maya creates. So now we, like the one you said, the Drishya, that song, Asti Bhati, whatever, that five things. This when you remove this Nama Rupa, all of that, then that visible is the Satchit Ananda. So we are supposed to get away from whole Jagat uh, related things, looks like.
And it's a long process because Here it says the vision must be complete.
Yeah, that's a
And you
thing,
have to
so
get
we need to
freedom
understand
from all the beings and elements. So, so much
all
of
this.
focus and commitment
Go.
and practice.
Mm.
And of course, grace. We need the grace of four things: Shastra, Ishvara, ourselves, and the teacher. But I think we have got a good teacher. Gurudev has got grace of Shastra, grace of Ishvara. So we are very fortunate.
We got everything. That's the reason we are doing this. Otherwise, we won't be sitting and doing it every day. I think, I mean, I think a better understanding it really helps. I think, um, even though we did the Tattvabodh, it's so many questions comes up.
But you very beautifully explained that Tattva Bodha from the unmanifest to the manifest. Very simply, you put it very nicely today.
Mm, thank you. So that the one thing really helps us is that Brahman is that Satchit Ananda with all those Atmas, the thing that we are doing in the Brahmajnana Valley, right? And unaffected, indestructible, all those. Um, that Swarupa, that to know what Brahma Swarupa is, and we have to get away from this Jiva Swarupa, that we need to nullify this Ahankara. That's a difference we need to understand. This Atma is Kshetrajna, and this body is Kshetra. And you read it in the previous one, Upal, Upalabdhi, because the body is needed for that to, for Atma to, uh, I
Exist
don't know.
to get
Yeah,
this wisdom.
yeah, like, see, we call Jiva is when it is one person, like one Atma, like
One
one
body.
person, right? The Maya is the, if if you include all these beings with avidya, then it becomes Maya. That's what that pretty much it is covered with all this. Uh, that's the reason we need to know the difference between this Maya and this Brahman and Kshetrajna.
Actually, I'm trying to retrieve the document that Nana had sent some time back about the differences between Kshetra and Kshetrajna. It is a tabular
Correct.
form.
Tabular form,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to retrieve that. In fact, I just emailed the Prasthanatrayam one more time to all of us in the group. Let me just check if I'm able to get this. Let me just think. I think I have identified it. Actually, there is this compilation of all the shlokas, the Gita Dhyana, Gita chapter wise. This is something that we can do today, but let me just lay my hands on that document. Sumaji, I've just shared this in the emailed it. It's called Prasthanatrayam Part 3. If you can open your email.
Okay.
Hari Om. Meanwhile, I just would like to share my own example. Just now, Swamiji has beautifully said about the vision, how important it is to have the complete vision. I have started getting in one eye the cataract. Now my another eye is has got adjusted to that cataract. So the ophthalmologist said that I don't feel necessity to either wear the glasses or get operated. So how conditioned our mind is, like जन्मों जन्म का वो conditioning है वो it's so appropriate example Swami ji has given. Although there is a layer which is obstructing, so with that eye the vision is not correct, but when I keep my both eyes open, the vision is getting corrected by itself. So I need to wear glasses, but the doctor said you need to wear glasses if you are not getting, your correct eye also will become little weak. So I was just experiencing that important it is that just a layer of ignorance is also getting conditioned. I mean, I'm not able to express, but how important it is to have the complete vision without the ignorance. Hari Om.
Yeah, that's really nice. That when we read about that, the another point I tried to learn was the sattva guna is where this all this jnanendriyas form, and this antakarana. So that which is the manas and the buddhi. So with that, really, that knowledge based. So sattva guna is knowledge based, whereas the rajas guna is more of action, right? So that forms from the rajas guna of the maya, forms the those five uh, action, like karmendriyas and the pancha pranas. So it really makes sense, like how this 17 of these uh, forms that of the subtle, what do you call that, sushma sarira. So that
Is this what you want, Brahmaraji? Chapter
Uh,
13 from.
yeah, I actually was able to retrieve the tabular form between Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Just give me
Yeah,
one
we'll.
second. I'm emailing it to all of you. You can
Okay.
open this and then share this, huh?
Okay.
You can just check your email. I just sent it to you. It's only a one-page document.
just send
Yeah, let me share this in the meantime.
Have you sent it? I yet to get
Yeah, I've
it.
sent it.
It's come now.
It's a one-page document.
Okay.
You are able to see this. If you're able to
Let me
share, very
just
good.
let me go back to my email. Yeah,
Otherwise,
check.
I'll be reading till you are able to retrieve it. As it is, I think spend some time on this.
You didn't get the attachment, Dr. Brahma. You didn't get the attachment.
You did
Yeah.
not?
No.
Okay. I will share that
Email
one
came, but then doesn't show the
without the
difference.
attachment, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
If one of you can read this, I can share the screen. This is only a one-page document. And after this, I think we can go back to the meaning of all the shlokas in serial order and then wind up chapter 13.
Can you enlarge this a little bit, or this is the maximum? Okay.
Is this fine?
Yeah. So I'll read this, or
Yeah, you can read this.
okay. Because Bhagavan said idam shariram, this body, in the verse, we have to provisionally, though, take it as the human body, which is considered to be the Kaludharma Sadhanam, the very means of all dharmas, as per the Shastra, it is only through the human body that the self-realization can be attained. This is for whom? It is not for the indweller of the Kshetra, the very Jiva. This self-realization for the ignorant Jiva is nothing but the rediscovery that the Jiva is indeed the Kshetrajna. And this is possible by proper deployment of the implement, the body, the idam shariram, for accomplishment of the desired objective, the attainment of Kshetrajna. In the second line of this verse, Bhagavan deftly portrays that the knower of this Kshetram is Kshetrajna. Thus, say the Tat Vidaha. One meaning would be, in this context, the knowers of the Kshetram, and another meaning perhaps can be knowers of Tat, Sat, in the Mahavakya, Tat Tvam Asi. So Tat, that is the Jiva. So we need the body for the ignorant Jiva to recognize we are this Tat, the Kshetrajna. Bhagavan, through verses 13, 5 and 6, elaborates the constituents of Kshetram, of all of which are the products of Maya or Prakriti, and as such, Mithya. The above two verses lead us to the meaning of Idam Shariram, the microcosm, as indeed Idam Jagat, the macrocosm, or the entire universe, which includes the bodies of you, I, and all other bodies too. Essentially, there are only three things, that is, Idam, Jiva, and Ishvara, or Idam, Jagat, Tvam. Jiva and Tat, Ishvara. Thus, the three things can be said to be Jagat, Jiva, and Ishvara, or simply Jagat, Tvam, and Tat. But as per the Shastra and the Gita, the Jagat is Mithya. Further, the Gita, especially the third shloka, teaches the identity of Tvam and Tat. See, for example, verses chapter 7, 18, chapter 13, 2. Thus, if we dismiss the idam, jagat, which includes our shariram, as mithya and equates tvam with tat, then we will be left with only the jiva, who is none other than Ishvara. The process of neti neti bhavana, not this sequence of negation, which all we are not, properly thinking and assimilating such knowledge would help understanding who we really are. And this, can you raise? And this indeed is the propellant for self-enquiry. That seems to be the import of the next verse, which has the Mahavakya, Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In this verse, Bhagavan mentioned two very important things. He is the Kshetrajna, the knower of the Kshetra in all the Kshetras. The knowledge of Kshetras and Kshetrajna is indeed Jnanam, one of the 6 queries of Arjuna. The Kshetras may be the human bodies, the animal bodies, the bodies of all other species, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, the space, the air, the fire, the earth, or even the earth-like other heavenly bodies, planets, the suns, stars, galaxy. In fact, anything that is visible, cognizable, or even vaguely imaginable, all the kshetras are mithya and as such are dependent, like anything that is, and are dependent, like even the dream depends on the dreamer and as such negatable. Whereas the Kshetrajna, the knower of the Kshetras, is independent, and though obtaining in all the Kshetras is one, which is the truth. The Kshetras are perishable, while the Kshetrajna is unborn, ancient, beginningless, and everlasting. See the verses 2.16 to 25. So we have to go back to this second chapter, has everything about Kshetrajna. One way of getting rooted in the knowledge is to compare and contrast Kshetra and Kshetrajna all the time. Assimilate such knowledge and contemplate on the import of the teachings thus. Okay, so under Kshetra, Kshetras are many and varied, whereas Kshetrajna is one and invariable. Kshetra is mithya, Kshetrajna is satya. Kshetra is apparent and dependent. Kshetrajna is real and independent. Kshetras are perishable. Kshetrajna is imperishable. Kshetras born has both beginning and end. Kshetrajna is unborn, beginningless and everlasting. Kshetras have unique qualities and are various. Kshetras have unique qualities and are various. Kshetrajna is qualityless and the one in all the Kshetras. Kshetras are destructible. Kshetrajna is indestructible. Kshetras are jadam, inert, and no cognition of own existence. This is where we get avidya. we attach to this jadam. So kshetras are jadam, inert, and no cognition of own existence. Whereas kshetrajna is chaitanyam.
That's from the Tamoguna, right? There's this Jadam thing
Mm,
that becomes inert and whatnot. Uh,
mm.
that one give rise to this those avarana and vikshepa, that giving that veiling that you're not able to understand, uh, that we superimpose things on Brahman, like everything is you, or having this ego that I'm doing everything,
So this
or
is avidya.
avidya,
Mm. So
jadam,
kshetra,
inert, no cognition of own existence.
yeah,
Own existence. Okay.
yes. Then kshetrajna is chaitanyam, the witness and awareness. Astibhati priti. Oh, kshetras are always changing and agitated. Kshetrajna is changeless and shantam. Kshetras are, what is this? Parichinnaha, limited in space and time. Kshetras are parichinnaha, limited in space and time. Kshetrajna is aparichinnaha, all pervading and limitless. Kshetras, the object, the illumined, whereas Kshetrajna, the very subject, the illuminator of all. Kshetras are samsari, Kshetrajna, the witness of the very samsaram. Kshetras are kinchi, kinchijnana, limited knowing. Ajnani, ignorant. Kshetrajna is sarvajnani, all-knowing, jnani, omniscient. And the list can be endless. The knowledge that helps make the clear, unambiguous and doubtless distinction between the Kshetra and Kshetrajna, and also the knowledge that help us root one in the Kshetra is considered to be Jnanam. So first we have to know that we have avidya, recognize our avidya first. Then only we can clear it out or want to get rid of it.
And for that, we require the grace of all the four.
Hmm.
Kripa, Shastra Kripa, Guru
Guru
Kripa,
Kripa,
and Kripa.
our
Ishvara.
own and ourselves.
All the four.
Hmm. So it says, no, that getting this body is rare. Then after getting this body, to have interest in this is rare, even rarer. And if you have some interest, to find the right master is very rare. Company of the enlightened is extremely rare. This Janmam we have got all three. So we should not let go of this opportunity or anything else, I think.
Sumaji, may
It's
I
an uphill task.
This chapter is so amazing, like really, I mean, all the chapters are really nice, and really trying to um, connect with all the things that we read in the Tatu Bodha, Atma Bodha and all that. Very nice.
Sumaji, can I request you to share the Prasthanatrayam part 3? If you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
to uh,
Are you going to do the Gita what do you call that? Not Dhyanam, but what is that
Gita
last one?
Mahatmyam.
Yeah, Mahatmyam. We haven't done that for a long time. I don't know. I probably missed a lot of the classes in the last 2 months, but the short
Yeah.
one at least we can do.
I think we can do that after we finish reading this, the meaning of
Okay,
this.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Thanks. I thought I'd just.
I think even that is there towards the end of this document. Even the
Uh,
Gita Mahatmyam is there. In fact, today we have, I mean, after completing chapter 13, we finished the second Shatkam on Bhagavad Gita, the
oh,
second six
Tattvam.
chapters.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
And then we have the last Shatkam to do. Um,
Mm.
And this is
that is
the Margari Masam. So we are very nice. This Friday is the anniversary of
Gita
Bhagavad Gita.
Jayanti.
mm,
Oh,
Mm.
Gita Jayanti is coming on Friday.
Mm.
22nd. Huh?
So very nice. We did chapter 13 on in
Yeah.
this month.
We'll check out. I'll check with Nana, although we'll see what we can manage to do on this 22nd. We get some inputs from him. In
Mm.
fact, I am, all of us, of course, are feeling blessed that we were exposed to this knowledge in such a manner, um, in such a regulated manner. All of us have been getting inputs from different sources, especially from Gurudev, but then having to learn it in such a structured manner, which is what China also had mentioned. He said you'll have to learn Bhagavad Gita by word to word meaning, understand the shloka word by word, and then, I mean, that is how he had advised us to learn the Bhagavad Gita. So I think we of course have
I
Ishvara
think
Kripa
with
and
all
nepovel here.
Nanas and your.
We have also got Guru Kripa, which is what we have been, we've been
Yeah,
guided through. And through Nana as an instrument, we've been introduced into this Gita home study, which
yeah.
is such a precious
Yeah,
tool
we,
for all
we
of us.
probably have, yeah, blessing from all the gurus, I think, from
Yeah,
Adi Shankara, Dayananda Saraswati. I mean, he
right,
introduced us to all the right materials. I'm really,
correct,
really grateful to him. I mean, and really, and then this group is really, uh, you know, I couldn't explain, words. It's really nice. I really want to use this knowledge to get wherever I want to get relief
right.
from this samsara.
Mm. And
Yeah.
then we have the Shastra Kripa. So hopefully, I think from all our experiences compared to how we were last year or the year before last when we started this to what we are now, there is certainly some evolution. Whether it's a tiny bit or more than a tiny bit, that evolution has certainly taken place. Our understanding of what the Shastra is trying to give us has certainly deepened, and it can only get deeper and deeper as we keep at this knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
especially, that I really want to go back to Tattva to read again because right
yeah,
from the beginning, that Chadana
mm,
Chadustayam is how important it is to really pursue this whole thing. Really needed to not to take a break from this. I hope I can continue that.
Jai Gurudev, can you scroll it little bit up? I am taking the snaps from the bigger TV screen.
This
this
one?
is already shared, Madhuriji, as an email. So all of you have this. So
Oh, okay, okay.
you can just check. I've sent the mail called Prasthanatrayam. It has the
I
combination.
don't have. I think I have not shared my email ID. I will
Okay,
do
then
that
please
too.
do share. I'll add it to the Gita group.
Thank you so much.
Sumaji, maybe you can start. Just
Okay.
just read the meanings as they are, as 1, 2, 3. Maybe
Yeah.
you don't need to mention the numbers, but you can just read.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll be like a good flow for us to
Yeah.
get a gist of chapter 13.
Chapter 13, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Known, knower. Arjuna said, "This I wish to know, O Krishna, O Keshava. What is the Prakriti and indeed the Purusha, the field and indeed the knower of the field, the means of knowledge, and what is to be known?" Sri Bhagavan said, "O Kaunteya, this body is called the field, Kshetra. Those who know that knowledge of the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, call him. Who knows this as the knower of the field, Kshetrajna. O Bharata, O Bharata, and also may you know me as the knower of the body in all the bodies, that which is knowledge of the body and knowledge of the knower of the body is truly knowledge. This is my vision. And what is that Kshetra? Of what nature? Of what modification? From what has it come? And who is the Kshetrajna? And what is his glory? For that, in brief, listen to me. In many ways, it is sung by the rishis. It is also sung by the sentences of the Vedas as something that is varied and also as something that is distinct. And it is indeed explained by the sentences of the Veda, which reveal Brahman without doubt, by implication, and with reasoning. The 5 subtle elements, the Hiranyagarbha, the Mahat Tattva, or the Samishti Buddhi, the unmanifest cause, Maya, and indeed the 10 organs and 1 mind, and the 5 sense objects, desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, the physical body, cognition, fortitude, and all this is Kshetra, which is stated briefly along with its modifications. Absence of conceit, absence of hypocrisy, harmlessness, accommodation, straightforwardness, reverence for the teacher, cleanliness, steadfastness, self-discipline, dispassion with reference to the sense objects, and indeed absence of pride and seeing clearly the defects of pain, birth, death, old age and disease, absence of ownership, absence of excessive affection regarding son, wife, and house, and always evenness of mind regarding the gain of the desirable and the undesirable, and an unwavering devotion to me that is not connected to anything else, the disposition of repairing to a quiet place, disposition of repairing to a quiet place, no longing for company of people. Should be retiring, the disposition of retiring to a quiet place, no longing for the company of people. Unwavering devotion to me, and that is not connected to anything else. The disposition of retiring to a quiet place, no longing for the company of people. Always dwelling upon knowledge, centered on the self, keeping in view the purpose of knowledge of the truth. This that was told is the means of knowledge. So, means of knowledge, which is opposite to this ignorance.
It's the means to knowledge.
Means to knowledge. Okay. Always dwelling upon the knowledge, centered on the self, keeping in view the purpose of knowledge of the truth. This that was told is the means to knowledge. This that was told is the means to knowledge, which is opposite to this is ignorance. What is to be known, that I will tell clearly, knowing which one gains deathlessness, that Brahman, which it is said, has no beginning, is limitless, neither existent as an object nor non-existent. The Jnayam Brahma, the one who has hands and feet on all sides, the one who has eyes and heads and mouth, faces on all sides, the one who has ears on all sides in the bodies of the people, remains pervading everything. That Brahman appears as the attributes of all the organs, is free from all the organs, is unattached, and is the sustainer of all, is free from the three gunas, qualities, and is the experiencer of the three qualities. And that Jnayam Brahma is outside and inside of the beings. It is that which does not move, and indeed what moves, because it is subtle, it is not known, and it is far as well as near. And that is to be known as the one who remains undivided in the beings and who is seemingly divided, who is the sustainer of the beings and elements, and who is the devourer and the creator. That Nayam Brahma, the light of lights, is said to be beyond ignorance. It is knowledge. It is that which is arrived at by knowing, and it is present in the minds of all. Thus, the Kshetra, so too, the means of gaining knowledge, and that and what is to be known. Thus, the Kshetra, so too the means of knowledge, and what is to be known has been told in brief. The one who is devoted to me, knowing this clearly, is fit to gain the condition of being me. May you know that both Prakriti and Purusha are indeed beginningless, and may you know that the modifications and indeed the gunas are born of Prakriti. Prakriti is said to be the cause in the creation of the physical body and the instruments. Purusha is said to be the cause with reference to the state of being and experiencer of pleasure and pain. Because Purusha, enjoyer, Jiva, obtains in Prakriti, he enjoys the attributes born of Prakriti. His attachment to the attributes is the cause for births in higher and lower wombs. The ultimate seer, permitter, sustainer, enjoyer, limitless Lord, creator. And
Can you please read the 20 from 20, please? I missed it.
Prakriti is said to be the cause in the creation of the physical body and the instruments. Purusha is said to be the cause with reference to the state of being, the experiencer of pleasure and pain. Because Purusha, enjoyer, Jiva, obtains in Prakriti, he enjoys the attributes born of Prakriti. His attachment to the attributes is the cause for births in higher or lower forms. The ultimate seer, permitter, sustainer, enjoyer, limitless Lord, creator, and also called limitless self, is the person who is limitless in the body. The one who knows in this manner Purusha and Prakriti, along with the attributes, even though engaged in all ways, he is not born again. By contemplation in the mind, some see the self with the self, the prepared mind, others by knowledge, and others by karma yoga. By contemplation in the mind, some see the self with the self, the prepared mind, others by knowledge, and others by karma yoga. But others, not knowing in this manner, having heard from others, their teachers, being committed to what they have heard, follow, and indeed they also cross death. As long as any existent thing, mobile or immobile, is born, that may you know, Arjuna, is because of the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. The one who sees the Lord remaining the same in all beings as the one who is not being destroyed among the things that are perishing, he alone sees. Because of seeing the Lord as the same, the one who obtains in the same form everywhere, he does not destroy himself. Therefore, he goes to the ultimate end. And when he sees that by Prakriti alone actions are being performed in all ways, and so too he who sees the self as non-doer, he alone sees. When one sees clearly the condition of distinction in the beings as having its existence in one Atma, and from that alone is its projections, then he gains Brahman. O Kaunteya, being beginningless and without attributes, this limitless self is imperishable. Even though obtaining in the body, it does not perform action and is not affected by the results of action. Just as all pervasive space, because it is subtle, is not affected, so too the self abiding in all states in the body is not affected. O Bharata, just as the one sun illumines the entire world, so too the Kshetri Atma, one who obtains in the Kshetra, illumines the entire Kshetra. Those who in this manner know the distinction between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna through the eye of wisdom and know the freedom from Prakriti, the cause of all of the beings, they go to the ultimate end. Om Tat Sat. इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगो नाम त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः। I forgot what we studied in this. He does not destroy himself. What was the thing in this 28th verse? Because the seeing
If
Lord
you
as
don't fill that with the knowledge, then like you're then
wasting
you
this life.
destroy yourself. Yeah, like if you don't gain the knowledge,
Okay.
then the self. I mean, nobody want to die, right? I mean, meaning like
Mm.
there was an example about suicide and all that. Everybody want to be happy and all that, and then we read about that, and then the way it came about was basically, you gain the knowledge. By gaining knowledge, you uh, not destroy yourself.
I think this story about this, the Tamil story, the person who seeks to have in a beautiful garden or in a beautiful park, he wants to get uh, he seeks to have a pot, was it? The pot is considered to be his head. And if in that you don't fill it with knowledge, he will
Mm.
destroy
Mm.
himself. Whereas if he
Mm.
fills that head with knowledge, that will liberate him.
Mm.
Otherwise,
He
he
wears it
gets
on his
lost in
head
the
and
path.
dances. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Mm.
So the head is like a pot. That pot, if you're filling with all of the world, then you will continue to have countless births and deaths. Whereas that, if you fill with knowledge, that upper story of ours, you fill with knowledge, then that will not destroy him, that will liberate him.
I'm reminded of that. I think Gurudev only said, no, you take life as a game. So this Maya is creating all the challenges for the game, and we have to play that game and free ourselves from Maya.
And see, praying to Maya is not different from praying to Bhagavan himself, because Maya ultimately is his creative power and
Mm.
is is uh, is no different from him. It is only that illusory aspect, that Vikshepa and the Avarana Shakti of Maya is what makes her or him different from Ishvara. But that is why the only with the sword of knowledge can we remove that distinction and realize that Tatvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi. It's so elevating to just think about the Kshetrajna as against the Kshetra. Unfortunately, we get so caught up with all that is the Kshetra,
Yeah.
and that is what ties up to misery, ties up to samsara. So, if we just elevate ourselves and root ourselves in the knowledge that we are none other than Kshetrajna, that concept itself, that although it is not aparokshanubhuti, although it is not um, ex- you've not completely recognized, even that the fact that you are that is very elevating, is very liberating.
Yeah. So
So it
that,
frees us.
that pot example, we always read it, right? Like
Mm,
uh, the pot is filled with the space. If you have like water in it, that becomes what do you call that? Water is like it's an element, so it becomes uh, in a half
Like,
water, half space. That means that space is what what we call as Brahman, and then the rest of it. So when you compare our body to the pot, or yeah, I was reading this thing called Gaivalya Navneetam. It's in Tamil, and then they talk about all this in Tamil. The words are like little different anyway. So they gave some examples like this, like pot and space, water, and all that. The same thing like what we read in the this chapter.
Sumaji, can I request you to just go to shloka 7, I think 7 until 12. That is what is the list of things for us to cultivate These are all the human values that we have to cultivate in order to amanitvam adam bitvam ahimsa kshanti rajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atma vinigraha. So what Madhuri ji was asking for the listing up of things is all there from shloka 7 up until 12. Is it 12 or 11? Yeah, till 11. From
11.
shloka 7 to 11 is the whole list.
Want me to read it?
Yeah, if you can just read that, and then we can share Brahmajnana Valimala, and then we can close.
Okay. Absence of conceit, absence of hypocrisy, harmlessness, accommodation, straightforwardness, reverence for the teacher, cleanliness, steadfastness, self-discipline, dispassion with reverence to the sense objects, and indeed absence of pride, and seeing clearly the defects of pain, birth, death, old age, and disease, absence of ownership, absence of excessive affection regarding son, wife, and house, and always evenness of mind regarding the gain of the desirable and the undesirable, and an unwavering devotion to me that is not connected to anything else, the disposition of retiring to a quiet place, no longing for company of people, always dwelling upon knowledge centered on the self, keeping in view the purpose of knowledge of the truth. This that was told is the means of knowledge, which is what is opposite to that is ignorance.
Oh, that's a Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
I loved everything about the chaps. Did everything I hoped it would be. This is stop drawing all the highlights. We'll be just here with it.
You're able to share Brahmajnana
Yeah.
Valimala? Imaji?
Yeah.
असङ्गोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च कामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्